there, sludgelings. Welcome back to another edition of the Trollhole Podcast. Mike and Ben breaking in here real quick with a little call to action for you. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell right there so you're always notified of all of our new sweet little posts. And a little something else for you, too. Did anyone say anything weird to you this week? Feel free to email trollholepod@gmail.com. Send us your weirdness, and we will deal with it for you. A little troll back, because we have your back. Now enjoy this episode of The Troll Hole.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
Welcome back to the Troll Hole Podcast, where we trash the trolls so you don't have to reach in, pull it out, hop aboard the troller holster, because we're taking a ride to this. I'm one of your hosts. The holidays are here. Hop into the bog. Show me your Yule log. It's me, Mike Lester. With me, as always, he's my co-host. He's the butter to my toast. He will ho for that one-nighter dough. It's Ben Katzner. Ben, what's going on there, Ben?
Okay, first of all, I'm glad that you chose Yule log to rhyme with, or bog. Secondly, I think we all know who the one-nighter king is here.
Yeah,
Come on.
I did two of them last
I'll
weekend.
see you in St. Charles, baby. Mike, who do we got with us today?
That's a club week, to be clear. With us, our guest today, fighting out of the red corner. She is a comedian, a mother, a photographer, a writer, a friend, a wife. Move over, George Foreman. Hide your hot plate. Here comes Allie Hormann. Allie Hormann. It's the Allie Hormann. Banana Allie.
Okay.
Banana Allie. Allie Hormann.
Sure. Okay. So that's an everything now.
I think so.
We're going to do a song every time now.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's
Speaking of songs, let's introduce the man that makes it all happen, Producer Neil. Neil.
I will hop on board.
Hey.
Good to be here, guys.
I like that. I think we should do that for both of them.
The
Together.
same song?
I like that one more than I like the first one.
Oh, since you don't like the first one, I'll keep doing it.
It's like we're back in Austin. Yeah. Allie, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, just living best life.
Love that.
Getting phone calls from the school nurse today about earaches and
Yeah.
the number of times that the school nurse just calls me. I see her number come up and I'm like, damn it, Megan. That's all.
First of all, it's a violation of her HIPAA laws. All right.
Yeah.
Secondly, maybe she just needs a friend. You
I
ever think
mean,
about that?
I hadn't thought about
You're
that.
a friendly person. You're a
thank
nice
you.
lady, and
Thank
maybe
you.
she just wants to talk to you.
That
School
is-
nurse, it's a lonely life.
Yes.
You're dealing
They
with
say
sick
that
kids.
a lot. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just dealing with sick kids. You're sending them off to the cots with the curtains.
Yeah, you're like lice,
Yeah.
eczema, gay.
We don't send you to the nurse for that
is going to
anymore.
be put into. That's
Oh, yeah.
going to be for sure.
Couple of months, they're
Yeah.
getting put. You're getting sent on there as
that's a good
gay,
point.
They'll have
100%.
special classes.
You're like, oh no. Oh, I have a fever. Actually, I just think you're a little bit, Right?
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna say. What's it like to have kids?
It's okay. It's awesome. My kids are cool. I like them a lot. I do only live with men, and it's maybe driving me a little crazy. Like
because dudes rock, right?
in a very O'Doyle rules kind
Sure.
of like way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get like on Mother's Day, your kids do like breakfast in bed, but they also give you like a wet willy.
Well,
there's,
it
like-
is. It's kind of funny to be the person who's like, I love you all so much. Thank you for this wonderful Mother's Day breakfast. Now leave me the alone
Sure.
for the rest of the day.
They
That's
should.
all I
They
want.
need to know.
They're
You
just-
seem very worried. You're like, we need to check on
Well,
everyone.
because my dad's been texting me sporadically.
Gotcha.
He's like, get your go bag ready. And I'm like, the guy you wanted to win
Won.
won. I thought you'd be less worried. Why are you more worried? You're
Get
like,
your go bag
yeah,
ready.
get your go bag ready. It's like adults need a gallon of water a day to survive. And I'm
He's
like,
not
what,
wrong.
What do you think's going to happen?
What's in your go bag, Mike? What do you got in your go
What
bag?
would be in my go bag?
Oh,
A
let's
gun.
if your dad if your dad's watching, let's say that's what's in your
It's
go
in-
bag.
loaded
yeah.
pistol.
Allie, what are you thinking?
Oh, like 3 vibrators and a like, because I'm assuming I'm going by myself. Like I'm just gonna
you're,
leave
I
my
like
kids.
that.
you're saying fuck your
Like,
family.
like,
Ditch 'em. I love that.
Your kids are like, Mom, is there room for toys? You're like,
Nah,
kind
nah,
of.
nah.
I know.
You're gonna go to the camp.
Yeah. You're going to go see the nurse, buddy.
You're gonna be building monuments to our dear leader while I take off to Canada.
Yeah.
3 is so funny. That's a great number.
I still have friends in Canada, so
Sure, that's fair.
you know.
Yeah.
Rules of 3.
Weirdly enough, also 3 vibrators for me. That's the
Mhm.
same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Copycat.
kill a boar with one of them.
What? What kind of vibrators?
Hitachi, magic wand.
It's-
Get over
It's
here.
a gun too.
Yeah.
It's like that No Country for Old Men Javier Bardem
It's
gun.
exactly like that.
Imagine that cattle gun, but it's a dildo on the end of it.
He just calls it friendo.
Getting really worked up, friendo.
Just giving scavengers CTE with my little vibrator gun. That's pretty fun. Neil, I feel like I have to ask you.
What's in my go bag?
Yeah, like your end of the world
I feel like
bag.
Neil already has like his go
It's like,
bag
I got
on
all
him.
my computers.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
all
yeah.
my lights. They're good.
I guess everything in front of me.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
He's
then,
got 2 plastic tails strapped to his back.
and
Like,
then
please
a
don't
flop-
kill me. I could DJ your wedding at the end of the world if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll bring I'll bring
That's what I was gonna
Bluetooth
say.
speaker, like
Neil
a
will
JBL.
still be gigging.
Yeah.
he'll be mixing Trump's
Dude,
podcast.
there's
yeah.
always a good place in the apocalypse for a DJ. Like if you can fucking spin a little bit.
I'll be the Mad
True.
Max
Yeah.
DJ on the top of the car.
Exactly.
Y'all ready to die?
Playing Slipknot or whatever. Hell yeah, dude. That'll be pretty good.
And this
Mhm.
podcast brought to you by the slot bucket. I'll also have so.
Yeah.
Slop bucket.
The beat drops when the nukes drop, Ben.
Slop bucket. Why would you?
That's
I was
another
gonna-
term for a troll hole now.
Well,
the
that's
slot
yeah.
bucket.
I was gonna say that's what I call my asshole, but I decided I was like, Ben, that's a little too crass for the
You
first.
fill it and empty it, huh?
Ding, ding, ding. Dinner's ready.
Look at us go.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Man, I messed up that intro, Ellie. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be okay.
What part did you mess up? Would
What?
you say?
I was gonna rhyme Foreman with Hormann, and I
That
had a
makes more
hot plate
sense.
thing,
Yep.
but I had never write these down. I just like kick them around in the old crock pot, you know.
You know, if you just add a block of cream cheese, it'll fix everything.
I'm
Wow.
making some cream cheese type stuff tonight.
What does that
I'm
mean?
gonna do like shredded. So you know the restaurant Braza?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip off their chicken.
Oh,
Isn't
nice.
that-
Oh.
I'm
How
gonna
about that?
How about
Mhm.
that, Braza?
Mhm. Better sponsor us.
Yeah. Give me some of
Or
those
we're gonna tell everybody how to rip off
plantains.
your chicken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Rip off my chicken. That's what I call it. Talk about it later. Different podcast. Different.
Now
podcast.
that you're going to the school nurse for that one. Nurse, I ripped
You're
off
gonna
my
call me that.
chicken.
I found your son ripping his chicken off in the back of the class.
And I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
God damn it, Megan. Like, stop calling me all the time.
That takes me. Let's get back to the school nurse thing for a second. Were either of you? Did you go to the school nurse a lot growing up? Was it an escape for you? Did you befriend the school nurse? Were you bullied
escape
so
for
you
you?
went to the school nurse?
That's incredible. I really didn't go. I feel like honestly, I bet it was less than 5 times I went to the nurse. I hate it. It's weird. It's a weird part of the school. It feels like you're not supposed to be back there. It feels like if you're back there, you've shat yourself or thrown up somewhere. Everything embarrassing just happened. So I didn't really want to be back there. I had friends. I was cool, so it was fine. But
Yeah.
what about you?
I remember like the few times I went back there, like I had to wait for my mom like hours before she could pick me up.
Yeah.
Because she was also a school teacher. She's like, all right, I'll pick him up. And the nurse is like,
Oh,
you can just stay here if you. So I just
yeah.
read Goosebumps and lay on a cot.
Were you in there a lot?
I'd read way less than like middle school and high school. In grade school, I milked it for all it's worth. Yeah. I was like, I'm tired of this.
Only once in a while, but most of the time it was an escape because I was like one time when I lost at a science Jeopardy and then started crying and I pretended that I was nauseous.
You gotta,
Really, I was
you gotta
just-
go to the nurse after
Then
that.
I just was embarrassed. That's all. Which turns
Yeah.
out both were just raging anxiety that was
Sure.
totally undiagnosed. Like,
What grade were you in?
5th.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
tough age to be
Yeah.
crying.
in
Yeah.
class.
They'll rip
Yeah.
you to shreds.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
They were assholes. I still remember there was a girl in my class that no one was nice to, and like except for me.
Is this girl on the podcast right now?
No, she is
Mhm.
not.
Okay.
I'm the girl.
And we had like a movie day at school, and everyone could bring like a can of pop and a snack.
Yeah.
And she like didn't, I don't know if she just didn't have the money for a can of pop or like what, but she didn't bring one. And so one of the cool kids were like, here, you can have half of mine. And beforehand had everyone around her spit in it.
Oh, that is brutal.
And I was like,
That's how
what?
kinks are made.
I was like, what the hell? And
that is crazy.
yeah. And then when
Salt, brother.
like I, being the very good person, told the teacher what happened, he just goes, gross, and didn't say anything. And I was like,
Oh, that was the first time the curtain got pulled back when you're like, oh, teachers are just real people?
real people.
I thought you were heroes.
Yeah.
What type of soda was it?
Cherry Coke. So weirdly enough, I remember that.
The
Oh.
way your brain works is so beautiful. that was so low on my list of questions, but I still like hearing the answer.
Love soda, cherry Coke, a lot of spit in it.
You're a Cherry Coke guy.
Kind of like a Coke Zero.
I would say it's a Coke
Plus, yeah, exactly.
Spit.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
brutal. You didn't spit in it?
I did not.
Look at me in the you didn't
I
spit in
did
it?
not.
Okay.
In fact, I thought it was so cool that they gave it to her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you could share some with me." And everyone
Oh.
around went, "No, don't do it. No, don't do it. No, don't do it." And then they told me why.
Damn, that's
Mm.
crazy. That's how like villains are made. Like if
Yeah,
this person
yeah.
ever, that's a person who's like gonna grow up,
She
get
grew
enough
up
money
to, be
to buy
JD
the town.
Vance.
I was
yeah.
and then just like put all of them out of a job. Be like,
Jeez.
oh, you work at the mill? It's closed now.
I
you know?
bought it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Hillbilly
That's tough.
Elegy is a contrived story.
And that girl was JD Vance.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it John? John Dorian? What does JD
Who
stand for?
gives
Do we
a
know?
shit?
He
It's your new leader.
he
Respect him.
changed
Our
his
dear
name,
leader.
so
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Yeah, it used to be like Cletus
yeah, something like that.
Arbuckle.
Cletus
Arbuckle.
Someday I'm gonna be vice president. Shut up, Cletus. There's no way an Arbuckle could be vice president.
Yeah.
You're right. That's why I'll
That is
come
I'm gonna
back.
denounce
everything I believe. And then I'll be VP.
As they're lifting him off
Yeah,
the couch.
yeah.
Come
As
on.
he's drinking spit.
Hey.
Drinking out of a spit.
You ready? You ready for our first segment?
Hey, let's get into that first segment. Did anyone say anything weird to you this week? DASAWTYTW.
That's correct.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing it every time.
That's right.
Ben, you go first this week.
Oh yeah. Oh, that means you got a hot one.
I got two. Well, I'll let you guys
only do
pick.
one.
I'll do both.
We don't have time for one.
Maybe not.
Someone. Here's the weird thing for me.
He's tapping his fingers. This is
yeah.
gonna be loaded.
No, it'll be fine. Talking to you're talking to comedians sometimes, and you're like, I wish I wasn't. I just wish I wasn't doing this.
This is why I don't do
Yeah.
mics.
This is sometimes you're just like, I could be doing something else, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple comedians last night, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I think I gotta go home and take a shit. You know, cool guy thing to say. That's
Yeah.
a fun guy thing to say.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
They're like,
Got up there.
They're like, we're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I like to be at home.
I'm on stage.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta go take a shit. And I was like, what? What's going on here? And then randomly one of the comics was like, hey, quick question. When you shit, do you spread your cheeks? Do you physically spread your cheeks?
Was this a wait? Was
this
this
is a
like
former guest of the
a
pod.
genuine question?
You never know with this guy if
Or
it was
were they,
genuine or not. But
like making fun of you.
it felt like one of those things. You know how you're talking about people spitting that kid's drink? It
Yeah.
kind of felt like one of those moments where if they wanted me to be like, actually, yeah, I do that. And they'd be like, what? That's not what real boys do. You're a baby. You know, it felt like a trap. But also, I don't do that. So I'm like, no, I don't force my cheeks
I thought you were
apart.
gonna say they spit in your asshole.
This would be a different story if that were the case. I'd be like,
This would
so
be a
last
weird
night
thing.
I left my wife.
Did anyone do anything incredible to you last night?
I gotta change the acronym now. God damn it.
That's awesome. So
That feels like a knock.
it felt like a trap, but
Yeah.
then two people were agreeing with it that they did it, and I'm like, I don't really ever want to shake your hand ever again.
You don't gotta spread to poop. I like spreading to bidet though.
Sure, you want to make sure as much of
Everything's
that.
clean.
I
gets in
spread it
there.
out. I hit it. I go to like setting 4 out of 10.
Thank you for the eye contact
Yeah,
in that.
Allie,
Mike.
I hit it,
appreciate
right?
Not
I hit it.
Spread it
Yep.
out.
I spread it. I hit it, and then I
Hey.
clench.
yeah.
Tushy,
Yeah.
we're looking for a
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
sponsorship. Tushy, we are looking for a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Tushy. Hit us up.
We're looking for a sponsor and someone to teach Mike how to use bidet.
That's a good way to use a bidet because if you spread it, hit it, then clench it, you don't need to use toilet paper whatsoever.
I just put my garden hose up there and let it rock. So
You sip from it, hit it, then sip from
comes
it
out of my
again.
mouth. Sip from it. That's crazy.
I should trick my mom into thinking the bidet's a water fountain or something.
You guys still beefing, huh?
No, we're
We're
good.
now. Okay.
I got her to say I love you today.
That's great.
Yeah.
You got her to say I love you, and then you're like, she should drink out of the bidet though. So yeah, that was just an intro. Which hey, listener, if that's what you do, write in. This might
Comment
be,
below.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you spread?
Maybe you don't. Maybe you can't poop at all. Maybe you're blocked up. Tell us about that.
Call to action. How do you poop? Comment below.
Put in the link below. Put it in
Yep.
the description of
Throw it in the
thing.
comments.
Throw it in the comment section. Yeah. And then, but now I've been like, so now when I poop, I'm like, am I doing it wrong?
Well, what
I'm
do
like-
you do?
I mean, I really, it's just like, I sprint to the bathroom. I'm like, everybody get out of here. If I'm in public, I'm like, everyone should leave, right? If I'm at home, I kick the door in, and then I just like go, and then I go, and then I go back.
Yeah,
to
but
the
there's no
couch.
like you don't have to like position yourself in a way.
I mean, I make sure everything's over the hole.
yeah, well, I would. I mean, that's obvious.
I used to go on the floor, but now I don't anymore. So yeah.
Trying to think if I've ever missed the hole now. Probably.
People be missing the hole. And
People be missing the
people
hole.
be missing the hole.
Unlike this podcast, tune in every week.
This
Throw a
one, this
hole.
is the one hole you can't miss.
What holes have you missed? Comment below.
We're good. Okay. No, I just feel like everyone. This felt like the moment when I found out one of my friends stood up to wipe. I don't really want to get into this, whether you do this or don't. I just never. It was just something I'd never. It wasn't computing before. That never happened to me before.
Standing up to wipe is pretty common, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Because then you can take a good look at it, look at your handiwork.
Mike's got a mirror on his toilet lid, like just to double check.
He's got a camera so he can go back over game footage when he's done. It's like,
I'm like,
this is
yeah, I
pretty
could
good.
have pushed a little harder there.
Well, everyone does stuff a little bit different, but I'm just like, it was just a weird, like, I guess it was my fault because I should have just been like, hey, I got to take off. But like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna poop or whatever.
Was this like an ongoing discussion, or did it just start with that question?
I let it go on it went on for about 3 minutes, and I would say that's about 3 minutes too long. I
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
not let it go on that long.
Sure.
But it was just an interesting look into the deep, dark third eye of people we know. So.
I wouldn't call it deep.
These
I'd
are some
say it's
deep,
pretty
these are some
surface
deep
level.
holes. We're looking
Pretty
into.
primal thoughts there.
What about you, Michael?
So I'll do one of two. I have a work one and I have a show one.
Let's do a work one. I want to get you fired.
Okay, so I was in the this happened today. I was in the office. I had my headphones in. I was doing some work at a desk, and this is an open office. And I'm listening to Bo Burnham.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening to Inside.
You're
I
depressed.
listened to that last night.
Dude. So
Whoa.
I'm listening to comedy, right?
Song Brothers.
And I literally let out sing as loud as I can because I just felt like no one was there. I was like, Lord help me channel Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side. And then I look up and three of my black coworkers were like across the room looking at me. And they didn't talk to me the rest of the day.
Whoa.
Ben might not too.
But it's a lyric, Ben. It's a lyric.
Yeah, I mean, we'll discuss it at the next meeting, I guess.
My coworkers
That's
will
tough.
be
They're like,
there.
yeah, this white boy was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I bet at least one of them statistically was like, oh fuck, that's Bo Burnham, but I don't want people to know I listen.
Why are so many Bo heads like that?
I just think
He's
it's
good.
Yeah, I think comedians in the comedy circle are like, Bo Burnham. It's a cool thing, but I think for other people, you're like, yeah, I just kind of like spent the pandemic watching this tall white dude kind of sing to himself. Like that's a little weird.
That's literally
yeah. I
where
know
my
why.
shows.
No, I know why you like it. I know why you like it.
Like looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Like the way he's hunched over like
looking
that.
in the mirror.
Yeah, dude.
That lyric is so much worse now that we know how terrible that Michael Urie's adoptive parents actually were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
the fact that he's in active litigation against the
Yeah.
people who adopted him. Yeah.
Like, because they took all his money and
That's what you want to do. You want to snatch up your coworkers and take all their money.
Nah, they don't make
Like,
shit.
which one of you boys can play left tackle? Blind Side. Never seen The Blind
I
Side?
started a football club.
Yeah, I like that you do The Blind Side, but it's like you saying football club makes me think soccer. think
I
that's
would do
funny.
golf.
Yeah, of course
I'd
you would.
start a golf league.
Yeah, you just abuse a bunch of
With all
black
the
people.
calls.
Like, you can be the next Tiger Woods.
We got to get off the course. I didn't pay. They're going to blame you, though.
Oh, that's so great. That's
Yeah.
so fun, dude.
Yeah.
That's a fun little thing that happened to you.
good one.
How did you like in that moment where you just like what do? You sink down? Do you go?
I literally put my head down and was laughing in embarrassment, going you're such a fucking dumbass.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Allie, what about you? Did anyone say anything weird to you this week or lately or whatever?
yeah. Well, okay, so this week was the first time I get this comment from time to time, but it's been a while, and so this time it took me totally aback. On this last weekend, I was at Camp Bar, and I was featuring there, and I do a lot of jokes about having kids,
Yeah.
and then inevitably you can clock them from a while away too.
Oh, boy.
I
This
look like Mike.
Yes,
tall,
exactly.
Hanky, slinking over to you.
No,
Eyes.
No, the guys in their mid to late 50s with the wraparound sunglasses and the cell phone clip still on their belt
cool
and
guys.
cool guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they'll be like, so who's watching your kids? And they will say
Sure.
it with full
Interesting.
seriousness.
Interesting.
And I just have to be like, whatever Amazon employee is watching the Ring doorbell, I guess.
There you
I
go.
guess. Like,
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a tough discount. It's like
How old are your kids?
that's the thing is my kids are 12, 10, and 7.
Oh, they got it.
but
I-
also you are married.
Yeah,
You
and I
have,
have
you have
I
a built-in watcher of the kids.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and I will say, well, my kids, they're at home with my husband, and then inevitably one of the guys will be like, "Oh, so your husband's babysitting?" I'm like, "No,
Yep.
he is parenting." But the
We're
fact that
past
you
that.
said babysitting just shows me that your kids don't talk to you anymore.
Right.
My
that is-
dad's asking these questions.
Like,
Why
oh,
don't they
that's
have
why I
guns?
recognize
So when
you.
you're at work, who's your husband having an affair with? I don't know.
Where are your kids'
Oh,
go bags?
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of you, I mean, you guys know, but you guys don't. My husband used to be a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and the shit that people when we were in seminary that the elders' wives of all of the ministry people,
Oh, they suck.
they would be like, "Hey, just so you know, you have to forgive him for his first affair," and I'd be like, "Whoa!"
Whoa.
Yeah, that was that one. There was one woman, Neil on the delay over there is like, because initially Neil was like, "Yeah, you do. You really do have to forgive
We're
him."
doing this live, so Neil has the button that's just oh, just in case something crazy.
It's on like a 10-second
That's
delay.
awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Oh, that laugh.
They would
was
say it.
Whoa,
wild.
that's disturbing to me.
yeah. The woman who was the denomination's head of women ministries came up to
Already
me
gonna be a problem. I feel like.
and she's like quietly
Mhm.
said, just so you know, trust no one.
That I like actually.
And I was
That's
like,
good
That's
advice,
lit.
honestly.
And-
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty good advice.
She
Just
was
walks
not
away.
wrong. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna be like, she just came up to me and she's like, just so you know, I think your son needs to go to the nurse. I thought that's what she was gonna say.
Well, what's like the continuation of the conversation when they're like, "Yeah, forgive him for the first affair"? Like, do you
Yeah, what do
even
you do?
humor that, or are you like, what happens with the second one? You know, like, do you like mess with them a little bit?
It was one of those times when I just was like, I don't even know how to respond. So I like
Yeah.
walked away. But the woman who told me that, her husband used to be the head of like global missions.
Oh,
And I was like,
so-
that means that he was sleeping with
Yeah,
yeah, that was
he was,
not
he was the
yeah.
head of getting
Say it.
head.
That was
Global
like,
missionary.
missionary
Oh.
position. Come on.
that was
it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got
So,
the joke.
Speaking of things that someone said, and it was recently in comedy time.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Imagine digging a well and getting some strange.
It was an abuse of power. I would like to
Not-
point that
it's
out.
not
It
strange
was.
if you do it all the time. That is so wild to me. Just this, yeah. I would. That's one of those conversations where you wish you. I mean, you could write a great joke about it, but like, and then say what you really want to say. But like,
Yeah.
in the moment, you are like, "Why are you talking? I thought
Yeah.
you were a human being. Why
Yeah.
is this happening to my
Yeah.
face?" You know?
And it was literally like my husband's like graduation from
Oh,
seminary,
hilarious.
and it was like the big party, and everyone's
Yeah.
talking, and like these women are just coming up and being like, and it felt like they were like trying to be like brave and say like the hard thing,
Yeah.
but it was also like, okay, but like also my parents are here, and like
Yeah.
like it was.
Well, go tell them that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, forgive him for his first.
Yeah.
Bitch, he's got to catch up to me. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
That
Yeah,
is so
she did.
wild.
She did never say that he had to forgive me for mine.
Yeah,
Like
of course
that's
not.
like
There you go.
so. I feel like that's a loophole.
Man, that is so intense. That is like a thing where it's like, I feel like there's like movies like this where it's like you finally get indoctrinated into the thing or the secret society or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you find out it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly the diploma's handed over, the door to the secret society chamber's closed, and they're like, just so you know, we're all demons. And you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
I guess we're just in this forever now. Fun.
That's ministry in a in a nutshell.
Yeah,
So.
I've actually never had any issue with the church. So it's fine. That's crazy. I've never heard of any bad things happening.
Yeah.
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 So
None that I
I'm
can
really
think of.
sorry to disappoint you guys.
None that I can think
Yeah,
of.
this is the
Alright.
first time my mind has been blown by something going wrong in the church.
Did I make it weird?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, are you kidding me? The
No, that was
crazy
awesome.
Shit, we just talked about spreading cheeks for 5
That's true.
minutes. Do you think
That's
that
true.
made it weird?
Which is not cheating if anybody's watching that.
No, the bidet is fair game. Even if
You don't have to
name it.
forgive
Yeah.
anybody for it. Oh my god.
Hello, Beatrice.
That's hilarious.
Beatrice.
You're like, I'm sorry, did I make it weird?
I'm naming bidets.
Oh, that's incredible. Let's keep cooking. We're having fun.
That was
Having a
another
fucking
edition
good
of DASAWTYTW.
I'm not gonna check if that's right or not. Allie,
Mhm.
social media based podcast. I don't know
Yes.
how to. I never know how to transition in this part. Do you have a favorite social media platform? Do you have anything that you like to use?
Yeah, I like TikTok.
You like TikTok?
But I'm not like the good comic who like posts clips and stuff like that and gains followers. I just talk about random shit in a way that to get me to do stuff in my own house. I'll be
Sure.
like, we're gonna cook.
You've
Because
gained
I have-
followers off it.
Yeah.
Like you've done well
yeah.
on TikTok.
I would
Yeah.
go. Let me go a step further. I feel like you tell me if I'm wrong. Do you feel like you found some communities in there?
Yeah.
Because like going through your stuff, especially on TikTok, like you mentioned, like I don't know how much you want to talk about, whatever, but like I feel like you talk about like mental health stuff. You talk about being a witch. You talk about marriage, kids, whatever, all this stuff. Like and then you go through the comments and it's like people are just like, yes, finally, someone's saying the thing that I've always been thinking.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. Like that is what this is supposed to be. I feel
Yeah.
like.
And like whenever people will be like, oh, like those aren't even real people. I would like to point out that I met one of my very best friends because they were on I followed them, like, I don't know, 2020, and I saw that they were on a walk, and I was like, I feel like that's my neighborhood. And then I messaged them. I was like, we should be friends. And then I just a week and a half ago officiated their wedding to their partner like in their dining room because they're like, we should probably get married before all of the shit hits the fan.
That's incredible.
Like, and so
Neil, call the cops. That is awesome. That's awesome.
So like, yeah, I've met really, really cool people.
Have you ever connected with anyone that deeply online?
No. I don't want to connect with any of my fans deeply because they're weird. No offense, fans. See you. I don't know when this is coming out. See you at Acme. See you there. Come on out. No, I have definitely connected with people on my old podcast, the Magic the Gathering one, like meeting people through that, like meeting up with them in real life. And like, you know, I think like hobbies really help if you can connect over a hobby, but I haven't officiated any weddings. I don't think a lot of the people I connect with are going to get married.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're losers, but you know. How about you, Ben?
I've officiated some weddings, but no.
Have you met anyone online?
You know what? I think that an area I've always been really self-conscious. I think there's a area that I could definitely connect with a group of people. As someone who is an adoptee, I feel like there's an adoption community out there. But dude, when I started especially on TikTok, I started dipping my toes into the adoption waters, and these niggas are weird. They're weird as fuck. These are some of the weirdest people. It'll be like interracial couple, like interracial adoptees or something, or interracial couples, whatever, and they'll be like throwing up their white kid, and then it comes down as a black kid or something. And you're just like, yeah, I don't think I want to be friends with you. I think I'm actually pretty good. I think I'm just gonna hang out with these people over here who aren't gonna throw me up and race swap me. So I think I'm okay.
You don't want to connect with them, you're gonna get race swapped.
But like I do want to, like, I have all these jokes and stuff and all the I don't know, whatever stuff that I feel like I could put out that I want to connect with when I do jokes at a show. Someone comes up to me after the show and they're like, I'm adopted too, or we adopted someone. Those feel really nice. And I want to connect with those people online without it being like weird. Like I'm never going to be doing like transracial adoption is neat. Like, you know, pointing out I can't do that.
Neat.
I feel like if it feels right, it feels right. It's not something you should force.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will disappear.
I come back in looking like modern day Sammy Sosa. Nobody comments on it. Like, what? I don't even understand. Yeah, I don't want to force it, but I do think there's organic. I do want to connect with people from like mostly like kids who are adopted or like people who have grown up as adoptees
that turned out normal.
I mean,
not like the messed up.
More just like,
because they're exhausted.
If you're doing an adoption thing as a parent on TikTok, I'm probably gonna stay away from you.
Yeah.
But if you are an adoptee on TikTok, I do want to talk. If you're watching this, connect with me. Let's figure it out.
Comment below.
Comment below. Did your parents leave you?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Where'd your mommy go? Comment below.
But yeah, I think that's a very cool thing that you are able to find these communities and it's like organic and
I think one of the hard parts about being a comic is the fact that people just assume that you're just going to be posting material and I'm like, one, you assume I have way more material than I have. Like, I love that you think I have that many jokes, and two, it's like, yeah, but that's the whole thing is I don't ever want someone to be like, oh, this is just what Allie does, because I do like 8 million different things, and like, you know, eventually, like, I always want to show my kids. I don't show them my TikToks because I make fun of them. But like, you know, I want to always show my kids that you can always be more than one thing. You know, like Carl Jung has a quote where he says, "The greatest burden you can place on a child is the unlived life of a parent."
Yeah, that might be the smartest thing that's ever been said on this podcast. That's great. A Carl Jung quote is crazy. Let's go. We are leveling up. That's awesome.
I do my best.
That's really nice.
So I just like I'm always like I don't know, I'm cooking today, or I'm gonna like one of my most popular videos, and it's for whatever reason it's circulating again, is me being like, let's get drunk and clean my house. Like
Yeah.
I get that.
and
Relatable.
There's a good
Yeah.
market for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do coke
We
and
should
clean
do
my
that.
house.
It's the best time to clean.
What's
It-
up,
You gotta get messed up.
Did you hear what Neil just said?
Yeah, let's do coke.
Yeah.
Clean the house. Let's do fentanyl. Sweep the leaves.
Hey.
The leaves are growing back on the trees.
That's very cool. What's your explore page on TikTok? Your discovery page on TikTok? Let's go.
It's witches.
Yeah.
A lot of tarot reading.
You're really into witches.
You're a witch.
Yeah, dude. I have my cards are in my purse right now. If you guys want.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do
I don't want to have
cards.
to sage
I
the
don't do
podcast
cards.
room.
I don't do Ouija boards. I believe in all that.
Oh,
stuff,
I
so.
wouldn't touch a Ouija board with a 10-foot pole.
We
That
should have
shit
done a
is-
Ouija
Would
board.
you touch it with Mike's bidet?
Bidet Ouija.
Like, I feel
I
like
think it's moving.
no, no, I am. That's like, but also, like a lot of like lesbians teaching you how to build shit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
That's
that.
what the
home
that's what
lesbian
the
home
GOP is
repair.
worried about right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of comedy.
We're gonna put a stop to that. Don't worry. We're gonna put a stop to lesbians.
We have to ban TikTok. There's lesbians teaching stuff on there.
Lesbians are learning. Stop them.
You have a lot of comedy on there. You
Yeah.
love comedy. I feel like you
love
post.
comedy.
I say
You're
that
one
as
of
like
the
a
last comics
you're
that
one of the
like
last few.
comedy.
You'll
You
be
know, it's
like,
pretty rare.
You'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm editing photos and also watching a comedy special or something.
Yep.
And I'll be like,
Can
shit.
we get back into
Oh, okay.
what got you into witchcraft?
Jesus.
Really? So you were just raised super religious,
Yep.
and then you were like
I needed to fill some
You
sort of
rebelled.
gap. Well, and part of it had to do. I don't know how much of my life story do you guys want in
All of
like
it.
all of
Sure.
it.
This is what interests
So
me.
you found out about Jesus. You're like, that's a warlock, and I want him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. No, I grew up evangelical and in a conservative northern Minnesota town, and
Which one?
Crookston.
Oh, I know Crookston.
Yeah.
You're near Bobby.
Yep. We actually have a lot of the same friends. Bobby's brother was a groomsman in a wedding that I photographed in Colorado of friends of mine from Roseau.
Corey Burrell?
Yeah.
They must have been running low on groomsmen.
For people who aren't directly related to Robert Burrell, Bobby is Robert Burrell, past guest on the podcast.
Yep.
The last guest.
Yeah, they don't have to know the timing.
Come
of it.
on now. Oh,
So I grew up, and then, you know, we went into ministry. Like my husband and I did ministry for almost 17 years together. Like, and then the pandemic hit, and we were like at home all the time.
Wait, you were also a minute. I didn't know.
Can you do ministry and Tara?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I get up in front of church while I'm serving communion and pull like the King of Swords and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I thought.
The lovers.
well, is it upside down or is it right side up?
That is a
That's the
very
big
good
thing.
question.
Someone's
That is
watched
a
Agatha
very
all
good
along. Here we go.
question.
Yeah.
Um,
I've dated some tarot people.
Oh, I know you.
we all know that, Mike. It's like-
I used to just walk back and forth in front of a fortune teller shop and wait them out. Is that a Nightmare Before Christmas tattoo?
Wow, a real goblin. I'll let you.
A real
inside.
shapeshifter.
Precisely.
I guess I didn't know that you also did it.
I mean, like it wasn't my technical.
Or
I
but it
never
was
got
like-
paid. God
Okay.
knows I never
But
got
you were
paid.
part of
Yeah.
ministry, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys talk.
I was a
about
really
it.
good preacher.
Yeah.
Can I
Like,
ask another question?
Yeah.
Did you ever like do an exorcism or like
No.
were heard of someone
What?
doing an exorcism? 'Cause that's what priests do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but-
not a-
But we were pastors.
Yeah,
like
but
not.
maybe
no.
you know the priests are all out, so you
Oh,
got to do one.
Mike's doing fanfic. Here we
I-
go.
I
The
never.
priests are all
No.
out.
And most of the time, it really pissed me off, actually, like how much, especially evangelical Christianity, when they go around the rest of the world, because it was always when they'd go to other countries that they'd talk about people being possessed.
Sure.
Mm.
And really, it was just like they would just couch mental health issues into like demonic possession and then talk about how they healed people. And I'd be like, actually, did you just maybe make them worse? Like,
Sure.
like
That's interesting. I guess I think of that as a very the spirits moving through them type shit feels very Americanized in my mind, but that's just because like
yeah.
I don't know, like
Well,
TikTok and infomercials and shit or whatever.
And I was never in like a Southern Baptist or Pentecostal kind of
Sure.
thing. I was like, they were like closed up, shine, Jesus, shine, clapping on the 1 and the 3 like the white people we are.
That's
like,
right. Don't you forget where you come from, girl.
No,
That's
there were no speaking in tongues or anything like that.
I knew people who did. That was not
I
my.
saw that a few times growing up.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
It was like, it was very like, sure, like, you know, whatever's happening. People would ask if I wanted to receive the gift, and I'd be like, I'm good. Which is weird because gifts is my love language, but not that one.
Yeah. Like sometimes your husband's gonna receive 2 to 3 gifts a week.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to deal with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish
define
people in my
gift.
church would have fucking started speaking in tongues, dude. I went to a boring ass Catholic church. Just imagine going up and just being like, and they're just
That's
like,
where, that's where I really started like pointing and laughing at people too.
right.
Yeah.
And they're like, the demons jumped to that boy.
You're
like,
You're like, it's been here all along. That's fun. Yeah, I guess I didn't know it went all the way up to 2020. But then,
Yeah.
what
And
happened?
So in
to-
2020, the pandemic hit.
you learned God's dead.
I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Me and Nietzsche, we just hung
Sure.
out the whole time. No, I like, and there's a phenomenon in like ex-evangelicalism called deconstruction, where you're like literally taking apart, like, oh, I learned all this, and I don't think I actually believe like that's real. But one thing for me is growing up, I'd always, when I was a little kid, I could see ghosts, and I would hear them a
Whoa.
lot. Yeah.
Oh, here
I-
we go.
What kind of ghosts?
It's over. This is a different podcast.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That just like there would be people that I'd hear and I'd see them and
Oh,
Like
I'm
the-
so scared.
I know, buddy.
I'm so scared.
I know,
now.
buddy. I know.
Allie's got ghosts attached to her.
Yeah.
no, I don't actually. I make sure that I don't all the time.
All right.
That's why she
It's-
became a witch.
Yeah.
Is
But-
that what you do?
When I like started in 2020 being like, oh, we're home all the time, and like I don't have to put on this face in front of church, like being the good pastor's wife all the time. Not that my husband wasn't like an asshole about it. Like, you do a good job. He was
Sure.
but I started being like, I don't know how much of this I really believe. And then I started getting into Reiki, and that opened up lots of things in my mind. And
Mm.
my brain was very much like, hey, you remember how you used to see ghosts all the time? Here you go. I was like, oh.
no.
Damn.
So if you guys are ever wondering, at 36 in Dale, there is a man with a backpack
I
and
hate
a
you.
and a and a coat and a hat that crosses the road all the time.
Truly hate you. Right now.
And I've the first time I thought I literally hit a person with my car, and I slammed on the brakes. I threw it into park, and there was nobody there, and I saw him multiple times. And the reason that I knew I wasn't crazy is because 2 other people have described him to me.
Oh.
This
You're
sucks.
welcome.
This podcast sucks. I hate this.
You guys are gonna just troll me after this. Like, it's just
No,
We-
that's so fascinating. I have another
we
question.
do have to get it. We have to leave soon.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll table it. We'll just talk off pod.
We'll talk off
I wanted to ask, like when you were getting out of like preaching, because you're like
Yeah.
fully out of it now. Do you
Yeah.
even like really go to church
No.
anymore? Like, was there any sort of like deprogramming you had to go
For
through?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you like describe that briefly, like what you had to do?
Stop drinking wine on Sundays.
you just it takes a really long time for your body to stop the need for the schedule. Both my husband and I, like, weekends were really, really difficult because we thought it would be relaxing, but it took like 6 months
Mm.
for us to have to intentionally not set alarms. Our body wouldn't wake us up at 6 in the morning anymore, and we would like specifically, we would just like stay in bed just to be like, to reset not just the clock, but like the anxiety.
Mm.
And then this really cool thing happened probably about 6 months after we got out of church. a friend came over and she was like, "Hey, do you have any melatonin?" And I was like, "Yeah, Noah takes it every night." And then it dawned on me, I was like, "Oh, he doesn't take it anymore. Like he can just sleep now." But it took a long time because when you're a pastor, you are literally on call 24/7. Like people, you just get hospital calls and tragedy calls, and like your phone rings, and it's like the millennial fight or flight times 1,000.
Someone's just like, hey, I just saw a ghost on 36 and Dale.
Exactly.
Can
100%.
you erase my memory?
Like,
That's awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that
Incredible.
stuff. That's really good. So no,
you guys are like, I regret this so much.
I actually
No,
wish we could talk
this
about
is
it more,
great.
but we have
I
to.
could honestly talk to you about this 4 hours.
Great.
and
Let's
we-
do it, Mike.
4 hours.
Patreon pod. We'll do a little
Patreon
Patreon.
pod.
And we can go till
Ooh.
45.
We'll do the pay.
Okay.
Let's get into some trolls. Allie, we scoured the internet, and by we I mean Ben, and we found some trolls.
Yes.
These first few, they're from your Snot Girl Summer video.
In the
Oh, yeah.
cemetery, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
This is from Donna Cloud. You can sob over the poor SOBs who had no one who remembered to etch their death date on the stone so it looks like they're still alive 200 years later, and hope that isn't you.
It's crazy.
God, that is a jumble of words.
So
there.
what this video was like, you were like, hey, instead of sad girl, I don't know, whatever, but you're like, you can go through and walk through a cemetery for fun. Right?
Yeah, you can get your steps in, and you can cry whenever you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so many people are like, yes, bitch, we did it. Let's do it. Which also, now that you see ghosts,
There's not as many in cemeteries.
what are we even doing then? Okay.
Well, because they're kind of bound to where they
You
passed. Ben.
Don't
Not
know.
exactly where they
you
rest.
don't know.
They're bound to where
Stop
they
it.
pass.
We'll talk about it more later, man.
Yeah, but Allie agrees. So
Mhm.
this next one is from Pull Lever Says, so many children in baby graves. I feel the need to thank every nurse / doctor after a cemetery walk.
There's always there's always a
It's
baby
funny.
section.
It's funny that you're just like, yeah, you can have like a fun, flirty walk through a cemetery. Someone's like, yeah, a lot of dead babies.
Lot of
in
dead
there.
babies. So many.
Take dog walking business through that cemetery.
Well, here's an interesting one. Sketchy.recipe said, quick safety tip from a longtime cemetery walker is to watch out for packs of stray dogs. They also enjoy the quiet shade and are not always happy to see. Where are these stray dogs at where are you, in South America? Where are these stray
I'm gonna
dogs?
be fully honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen a dog in a cemetery
No.
my entire life. So the idea of stray dogs there is kind of terrifying to me. That is kind of.
I don't think they're stray dogs. I think like a guy threw the chuck it and the dog went too far.
Might be ghost dogs.
Could be
Could
ghost
be
dogs.
ghost dogs.
Well, if they
they-
passed
if they
there,
died there, they
if
could be
they
there.
died
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
they could be bound to there
Sure.
because that's how it works,
Okay.
man. That's how it works. So do we want to talk about this?
Sure.
Turn the comments off.
Yeah, I do actually want to talk about that. There's one which is like a pretty innocuous, like whatever. Go ahead. I'll let you actually.
This one was to the man at the polls this morning who scoffed at my shirt. I didn't cancel out your vote, but your wife did, and you wore a shirt that said they didn't burn witches, they burned women.
I turned the comments off because the things that men were in there saying
Yeah.
were horrendous.
Which totally understand. Like I totally get that, but you did kind of fuck over our podcast. I want you to know that.
I know.
We wanted to get
know.
in there. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you want me to turn it back on real
no,
quick?
no,
so you can,
you're fine.
um,
Did you expect that kind of like reaction from people? Were you shocked? How did you feel about what was happening?
Yes, and it just got worse as obviously the night went on, and the night got worse because Neil keeps knocking over his can over there.
We're
And-
haunted over here. And Neil's just
Like,
kicking shit over.
Yeah,
It's
no,
where Neil passed.
then
Loon Lake Entertainment.
men just start saying things like, it got real quick into the "your body, my choice."
Oh sure,
like,
yeah, that
kinda
sucks.
stuff.
Yeah,
And then
a lot of Mike Lester fans in your comments.
can I tell you about the worst troll
Please.
I ever? Can I like
memory.
well, it's because I have a joke about it, but
Please.
so I made a joke on Twitter, which I don't have a Twitter anymore, and so I'm sorry that you can't see this. Like, I haven't
Okay.
said, but the guy, I said, my husband and I have separate evening hobbies. I do comedy and he does jujitsu, which is fun because one of them requires the physical and mental dexterity to defeat weaker men, and the other is jujitsu.
Yeah.
You know, and it was there was a very tepid response to the joke, like just about like that right there. And some guy who his whole profile was MMA America, you know,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan on
A real
Eagle.
intellectual. Yeah.
Yeah. He slid into my DMs and he goes, I hope your husband chokes you to death.
Whoa. What the fuck?
I know. I was
What
like,
is
I love that you think that
happening?
he could pass my guard, but like, yeah, that's not gonna.
Such a good comeback.
The punchline to the joke is that's not how he chokes me, but
Let's get into one
That's
more.
fucking crazy.
Then we'll do
Don't
our.
do that. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Don't do what?
Don't be like, I hope your husband chokes you to death.
Well, he was upset. All right, let's read this one. No. Okay, this is from a clip. White children named Kendrick and Aubrey.
Hell yeah.
Which one you want here? From Kells simply said, for some reason, I don't believe this.
Is this true?
it is true.
It's true, people.
It's true.
So you have a joke about how you have white friends, or at
Mhm.
least
They
white
live
passing
in
friends,
Central South Dakota.
Central South Dakota, where they make the whites,
Beautiful region.
and they have
Great golf.
a son named Kendrick.
Yeah. So right at the end of April,
Yeah,
when all of
Drake Kendrick.
When
beef
the
was
Drake
popping
Kendrick-
off.
it
Oh.
happened.
Yeah.
They have a daughter named Aubrey,
Mm-hmm.
who was I think 3, and then they just had this baby boy and they named him Kendrick.
Yeah. Incredible.
And I was just like, oh shit, you are the whitest people that have ever existed. And
Did they
there's-
know?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that they're my friends. I would actually hope never to see them again for the rest of my life.
That's lit.
Did you let them know if they're taking it there, you're taking it further, and that's something they don't want to do?
See, this is what all the comments. Every comment. So this is my next question. There's so many references in the comments.
Yeah.
How many of those did you pick up on? Like where it was just like someone would just say something. I'm like, I don't know that you would even know that, but like it's a lot of Drake Kendrick shit.
Yeah, I listened to all of
All of
them.
them.
I
all
mean,
of
the
them.
Kendrick side I listened to. I mean, I still listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's only so many times though as like a white 40-year-old woman that I can be like, they're not like us.
Sure.
They're not like I can't like
Yeah, yeah.
that just it doesn't
You get the
work
rest of the
well.
year, you can
Yeah.
have that.
Right,
I think.
right.
You gotta.
I just have to Bo Burnham with
Yes.
Mike for like the
Yeah.
rest of the time.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
don't get
yeah.
to-
You gotta hop around. You can't just listen to They Not Like Us. Gotta go meet the Grams.
Mhm.
Hop back into To Pimp a Butterfly. Figure out what Drake meant.
Yeah, where the
For
sub? You're like,
Mr.
oh, I heard
Morale.
there was a sub in Take Care. Figure it out. That is so funny. I was just like, I just wanted to clear the air, you know, because like sometimes comedians will do some shit and they'll be like, oh yeah, I made that up completely, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this is real.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to be able to say on
It
the
is-
podcast that
it
this is
is
a real thing.
real. And
Turns out white people can be ignorant too.
can I
So-
tell you that was the second baby born to a white couple baby boy named Kendrick that month that I knew.
I don't mind.
Kendrick
Like-
isn't a bad name.
And no, and but it was just like the Kendrick and Aubrey thing was pretty great.
Sure.
And also, I also watched Josh Johnson's YouTube video where he breaks down the entire conflict, and that was very informative to understanding all of the comments.
Sure.
So, Josh Johnson, thank you very
I'm a
much for
third
your
party in
insight.
there. Josh, come on the pod.
I gotta watch a YouTube video diary to understand this comment section. Which that is the best content. Me and Neil were talking about before pod. That's the best content on YouTube.
Should we get into our troll back?
Let's get into
Get
that
outta
old
here.
troll back. This is from Tim Wall's code name should be Grey Duck TikTok. Ike Phoenix said, typical rabbit choking Minnesotans. It's goose, not gray duck. Absolute monsters.
Did you get a lot of pushback on this one?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
People do not mess around with the duck, duck, goose, duck, duck.
He
gray
did.
duck
He didn't
bullshit.
just say goose. He said goose.
Goose. Okay, so this is the
Multiple
part of the
O's.
podcast where we chose one comment, this one,
Okay.
and we both wrote responses to it. You pick the one you like, and then we will post it from our account.
You want me to read it
Fantastic.
one more time before you go off?
Yeah.
Typical rabbit choking Minnesotans. It's goose, not gray duck. Absolute monsters.
Okay, I wrote, it's bunny strangling on this side of Lake Michigan, you frog hopper. I don't know if we're the same shit. I feel like frog hopper is a fun thing to call someone.
I said, typical chicken choking Ike. It is goose what you scream when you come outside a goat pen at the petting zoo?
I was like,
I
you're
love
gonna.
you so much for it, but
I
I like
know,
that one so good.
No, I
That's so
knew he
good.
was gonna take it in a way where I'm like, I just can't go there with this one, and I respect that.
taking it there? I'm
Hell yeah. Okay, so that was one for Mike.
Except the way I would say it is, that's not typically something you feel comfortable doing.
Allie, where can people find you?
What's your
Online.
plug?
You got anything
Plug it
coming up you
up.
want to plug? Let's plug it up.
See any ghosts?
I'm gonna be this weekend. I'm gonna be in St. Cloud at,
This
but
will be
it's
past,
not okay.
yeah.
So
Late December dates.
late December
or
dates.
2025 dates.
In January 11th, you can find me at Dublin with Tyler Fowler from Chicago.
Great room. Great room.
So I'll be up there 6 and 8:30 that night.
Duluth,
Duluth,
Minnesota.
Don't have me back. Go ahead.
And
well,
that is all I
burn
can
that bridge.
remember off the top of my head.
That's okay.
What's your TikTok?
I thought you were going to say social security number. I was going to be like, well,
476
471.
771.
Yeah.
my TikTok is just at Allie Hormann. Instagram is Allie Hormann Creative, because it's all of the
How do you spell your last name?
HORMANN.
2 N's at the end.
Two
you
N's.
dogs.
I did have a doctor once look at me and she goes, "Oh, so it's German, not Jewish." And I was like, "I don't think you can say that."
Buddy, I'm going to tell you with the last name Katzner, I've been there.
Yeah.
all right? Yeah.
Talk about a HIPAA violation.
Michael?
At Just Mike Lester on all social media. This is coming out like mid-December, right?
Yeah,
So first week of December, December 5th through 8th. I just found out I'm headlining in St. Louis again, Westport, Funny Bone. Then end of December, the 26th through 28th, I'm headlining Acme Comedy Company. And then in April, I think I'll be in Calgary
Doing
doing
April
the same
dance.
horrible room, Rob.
Love
But
that.
anyways,
The one we just made fun of him.
But sincerely, if you're gonna do anything, please watch Midwest Critters. It's a mini series I'm doing with my good friend Lily Meyer. We're very proud of it. It's very good. If you watch it on YouTube, save the playlist. That helps a lot. But go check it out there.
Bing, bang, boom.
Bing bang boom, Ben.
At Shaq Katzner on everything. I got a weekly show called Darlings in Minneapolis. Zora Darling every Thursday at 9:30. Come check it out. I got a monthly show called One Up at Sisyphus on Sundays, 4 p.m. Watch the show, then go watch the Vikings lose. Come through, okay? Also, out of town stuff. You can catch me at the Comedy Attic in December. I'll be headlining one night and then featuring the rest of the weekend. That's like December 13th, somewhere around there. And then Kansas City Comedy Club. I'll be featuring with Shane Torres, your boy. Shane Torres, come through and check us out. Also, I got some stuff coming out, so like just follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting a bunch of days and giving you some updates, and we have some fun stuff coming up in 2025. So come check it out.
Neil, what do you got?
Plugs. Loon Lake Entertainment for me to DJ your events.
Loon Lake Entertainment.
Don't make a stinger. Seven Swords bass to do Seven Swords sound and all stuff for my music.
Boom.
Boom.
And as
until
always-
next time, till we see you again, you can go to hell. Go to hell.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.